Before you help that person again, ask yourself this: are you blessing them or cursing them? The Bible reveals something shocking. Helping the wrong person isn't love. It's sin, and it's destroying both of you. In the next 12 minutes, I'll show you the 7 types Scripture warns you not to help. Miss this, and you'll keep bleeding resources while watching people get worse, not better. Here's what nobody told you. Jesus said no more than he said yes. He walked past sick people without healing them. He let the rich young ruler walk away. He told his disciples there would always be poor among them. Why? Because indiscriminate helping isn't biblical. It's enabling. And enabling is a curse disguised as a blessing. Let's start with the most dangerous type. The person who demands instead of asks. They don't say, "Could you help me?" They say, "You need to help me." They make your resources their rights. 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 10 says, "If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat." Notice it says not willing, not unable. This reveals God's heart about entitlement. Here's how you'll recognize them. They get angry when you say no. They never say thank you. They always need just one more thing. That's entitlement, not need. When you help an entitled person, you're not showing love. You're feeding their pride. Here's the boundary you need to set. I help people who ask humbly, not people who demand. The second type is more subtle. The person who lives from emergency to emergency. Always in crisis. Always needs immediate rescue. Always has drama. But here's what you'll notice. Their crises are usually self-created. They're addicted to adrenaline and attention. They create chaos because chaos gets them help. Proverbs 19 verse 19 warns, "A man of great wrath will pay the penalty, for if you deliver him, you will only have to do it again." This is exactly what happens with crisis addicts. When you rescue the crisis addict, you're not helping. You're enabling their addiction to drama. Here's the boundary you need to set. I can't keep providing emergency help. You need to learn to plan. The third type is even more draining. The person who takes but never acknowledges. They receive your help but act like it's owed to them. They never say thank you. They never reciprocate, even when they can. Luke 17 shows us Jesus healed 10 lepers. Only one came back to thank him. Jesus noticed. He said, "We're not 10 cleansed. Where are the 9? This reveals how much gratitude matters to God. Even Jesus expected gratitude. When you keep helping ungrateful people, you become resentful. Your joy in giving dies. You start feeling used because you are being used. Here's the boundary you need to set. My help hasn't been appreciated. Until that changes, I'm directing my resources elsewhere. The fourth type is the most exhausting. The person who has made suffering their identity. Every conversation is about their problems. Every solution gets shot down with "yeah, but." They don't want help. They want pity. They're comfortable in their misery because it gets them attention and excuses. Jesus asked the man at the pool who'd been sick for 38 years, "Do you want to be healed?" Because sometimes people prefer their problems to their solutions. Will you constantly rescue the perpetual victim? You rob them of the growth that only comes through struggle. Here's the boundary you need to set. I can't keep having the same conversation. When you're ready to take action, I'm here. The fifth type is the most cunning. The person who weaponizes your faith against you. If you were really a Christian, you'd help me. Jesus would never turn someone away. They make refusing their request feel like sin. Yet, Jesus turned people away all the time. He didn't chase the rich young ruler. He let him walk away. Galatians 1 verse 10 asks, "Am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." When you give in to manipulation, you're not serving God. You're serving fear and people-pleasing. Here's the boundary you need to set. I make decisions based on prayer and wisdom, not guilt or manipulation. The sixth type is the most destructive. The person who talks negatively about others to you and about you to others. They spread discord, create division, poison relationships. They come with concerns about people, but they're stirring up trouble. Proverbs 26 verse 20 says, "For lack of wood the fire goes out, and where there is no whisperer, quarreling ceases." When you help this person, you're funding their destruction of community. Matthew 7 verse 6 warns, "Do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you." Here's the boundary you need to set. I don't engage with gossip. If you have a problem with someone, go directly to them. Finally, the seventh and most hopeless type. The person who consistently makes bad choices and refuses wise counsel. They reject godly advice, scorn correction, repeat destructive patterns. They want your help, but not your wisdom. Proverbs 23 verse 9 says, "Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the good sense of your words." When you help the rebellious fool, you're subsidizing their rebellion against God. The prodigal son's father didn't chase him down. He let him hit rock bottom. It was only in the pig pen that the son came to his senses. Here's the boundary you need to set. I can't keep rescuing you from choices you refuse to change. Now that you know the 7 types, how do you discern who deserves your help? Use these 4 biblical tests. First, check their humility. Do they ask or demand? Second, examine their responsibility. Do they own their situation or blame others? Third, look for gratitude. Do they appreciate help or expect it? Fourth, assess their growth. Are they learning or repeating the same mistakes? You're not God. You don't have unlimited resources. You need to be a wise steward of what He's given you. When you start applying these principles, 3 things happen. The first thing that happens is you stop feeling guilty about saying no. You realize boundaries aren't selfish, they're biblical stewardship. The second thing is your resources start going to people who actually change. You see real transformation instead of endless dependency. The third thing is you become a better steward of what God has given you. You're not just helping, you're helping wisely. Think about someone in your life right now. Are they humble or entitled? Grateful or demanding? Growing or stagnant? That person who always needs money but never changes their spending habits. Stop helping. That family member who creates drama then expects you to fix it. Stop rescuing. The friend who takes your advice, ignores it, then comes back with the same problem. Stop counseling. This isn't cruelty. This is biblical stewardship. Look at how Jesus helped. He helped the centurion who showed great faith. He helped the woman who touched his garment in desperation. He helped the blind man who cried out persistently. But he didn't heal everyone in every crowd. He didn't feed every hungry person. He didn't chase down every person who walked away. Jesus helped strategically, not indiscriminately. Proverbs 27 verse 14 says, "Whoever blesses his neighbor with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, will be counted as cursing him." Even blessings can become curses when given wrongly. When you stop helping the wrong people, you discover something amazing. You have more energy, more resources, and more joy for helping the right people. You're not burned out anymore. You're not resentful. You're not questioning whether generosity is worth it. You become like Jesus, selective in your help, strategic in your kindness, and supernatural in your impact. Your no to the wrong person is your yes to the right person. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep doing what you've always done, helping everyone who asks, regardless of their heart or their response. Or you can embrace biblical wisdom. You can learn to discern. You could become a wise steward instead of an enabler. The people you stop helping incorrectly might get angry. Let them. The people you start helping correctly will be transformed. That's worth it. I want you to make 3 commitments. Your first commitment is to pray about the people in your life. Ask God to give you discernment about who deserves your help. Your second commitment is to set boundaries with the wrong people. Use the exact words I gave you. Don't explain, don't justify, just set the boundary. Your third commitment is to redirect your resources to the right people. Find someone who's humble, grateful, responsible, and growing. Pour into them. Your kindness is not weakness. Your boundaries are not selfishness. Your discernment is not judgment. It's biblical stewardship. If this convicted you, hit that like button. If it changed your perspective, share it with someone who needs boundaries. Subscribe for more biblical wisdom that transforms lives.